dès que je m'aperçois, alors je sens dans moi mon cœur qui bat.
The fact that they did not follow us into the house at once, as anyone else would have done, seems to me to show that they have some sense of shame left.
They have been eating muffins. That looks like repentance.
They don't seem to notice us at all. Don't you cough?
I haven't got a cough.
They're looking at us. What effrontery.
Oh, they're pushing. That's very forward of them.
Let us preserve a dignified silence.
Certainly. Is there anything to do now?
This dignified silence seems to be producing a most unpleasant effect. But we will not be the first to speak.
Certainly not.
Mr. Worthing, I have something very particular to ask you. Much depends on your reply.
Gwendolen, your common sense is invaluable. Mr. Moncrief, kindly answer me the following question. Why did you pretend to be my guardian's brother?
So that I might have an opportunity for meeting you.
It certainly seems like a satisfactory explanation, does it not?
It does, dear. If you can believe him.
I don't. But that does not affect the wonderful beauty of his answer.
True. In matters of great importance, style, not sincerity, is the vital thing. Mr. Worthing, what explanation have you got to offer me for pretending to have a brother? Was it so that you can come up to town to see me as often as possible?
Can you really doubt it, Miss Fairfax?
Oh, I have the greatest doubts upon the subject. But I intend to crush them. This is not the time for German skepticism. Their answers seem most satisfactory, especially Mr. Worthing's. That one seems to me to have the stamp of truth upon it.
I am more than content with what Mr. Moncrief said. His voice alone inspires one with absolute credulity.
Then you think we should forgive them?
Yes. I mean, no.
True. There are matters at stake that one cannot surrender. Which of us should tell them? The task is not a pleasant one.
Could you not both speak at the same time?
Oh my God! Excellent idea. I nearly always speak at the same time as other people. Will you take the time from me, Cecily?
Certainly. 1, 2, 3.
Your Christian names are still an insuperable barrier. That is all.
Our Christian names, is that all? But I'm going to be christened this afternoon. What? Do it.
For my sake, you are prepared to do this terrible thing.
I am.
To please me, you are ready to face this fearful ordeal.
I am.
How absurd to talk of the equality of the sexes. When it comes to self-sacrifice, men are infinitely beyond us.
They have moments of physical courage of which we women know absolutely nothing.
Oh, darling!
Darling.
Gwendolen!
Shit!
Gwendolen? What does this mean?
Merely that I am engaged to Mr. Worthing, Mama.
Come here. Come here. Sit down. Sit down immediately. Hesitation of any kind is a sign of mental decay in the young and of physical weakness in the old. Apprised, sir, by my daughter's sudden flight by her trusty mate, whose confidence I purchased by means of a small coin. I followed her at once by a luggage train. Algernon?
Yes, Aunt Augusta?
May I ask if it is in this house that your invalid friend, Mr. Bunbury, resides?
Oh, Bunbury doesn't live here. Bunbury is somewhere else at present. In fact, Bunbury is dead.
Dead? When did he die?
Bunbury? Oh, I killed him this afternoon. I mean, poor Bunbury died this afternoon.
What did he die of?
Oh, he was quite exploded.
Exploded? Well, now that we have finally gotten rid of this, Mr. Bunbury, Mr. Worthing, whose hand is that clasped around my nephew Algernon's?
That hand belongs to Miss Cecily Cardew, Lady Bracknell. She is my ward.
I'm engaged to be married to Cecily, Aunt Augusta.
I do not know if there's anything peculiarly exciting in the air in this part of Hertfordshire. So many engagements. Mr. Worthing, some preliminary inquiries will not be out of place. Is Miss Cardew in any way related to any of the larger railway stations in London? I merely require information. Until yesterday, I had no idea that there were persons and families whose origin was at Terminus.
Miss Cardew is the granddaughter of the late Mr. Thomas Cardew of 149 Belgrave Square, SW, Mace Park, Surrey, Dorking, and the Sporran, Fifeshire, MD.
The addresses always inspire confidence, even in tradesmen. But what proof have I of their authenticity?
Well, Miss Cardew's family records are stored right here. They are, of course, open for your inspection, Lady Bracknell.
I have known grave errors in that publication.
Family solicitors, if you are interested, are Mrs. Markby, and, well, Markby.
Ah! Markby and Markby.
Indeed.
A firm of the highest position in their profession. Indeed, I am told that one of the Mr. Markbys is occasionally to be seen at dinner parties. So far I am satisfied.
I also have here for your inspection, should you be interested, Miss Cardew's records of her birth, her baptism, her whooping cough, vaccination, confirmation, and the measles, both the German and the English variety.
A life crowded with incident. Perhaps somewhat too exciting for a young girl. I am not myself in favor of premature experiences. Gwendolyn, the time approaches for our departure. As a matter of form, Mr. Worthing, I might ask you if Miss Cardew has any little fortune in her name.
Oh, she has about £500,000 in the funds. That is all. Goodbye, Lady Bracknell. I'm so pleased to have seen you.
Moment, Mr. Worthing.
Huh?
Mein Gott, £500,000 in the funds.
Yes.
Miss Cardew seems to me a most attractive lady now that I look at her. Few ladies of the present day have any really solid qualities. Qualities that last and improve with time. Come here, child. Oh, your dress, sadly simple, and your hair is almost as if nature might have left it. Kindly turn round. Oh, no. It is a side view that I want. There are distinct social possibilities in your profile. The two greatest ones in this time are its ones of profile and its ones of prettiness. Style largely depends on the way the chin is worn. Little higher, dear? Oh, yes, they are worn very high, just as present. About that high. Algernon?
Yes, Aunt Augusta?
There are distinct social possibilities in Miss Cartew's profile.
Oh, Cecily is the sweetest, dearest, prettiest girl in the whole world, and I don't care two pence about social possibility.
Never speak disrespectfully of society, Algernon. Only people who can't get into it do that. My child, you know that Algernon has nothing but his debts to depend upon. But I am not in favor of mercenary marriages. In fact, when I married Lord Bracknell, I had no fortune of any kind. But I never dreamed for one moment to let that stand in my way. Well, I suppose I must give you my consent.
Oh, thank you, Aunt Augusta.
Thank you, Lady Bracknell.
You may kiss me. You may also refer to me as Aunt Augusta for the future.
Thank you, Aunt Augusta.
I think the marriage had better take place quite soon. I'm not myself in favor of long engagements. They give each other the opportunity of finding out each other's character before marriage, which I think is never advisable.
Excuse me if I'm interrupting you there, Lady Bracknell, but this engagement, as you call it, is, I'm afraid, quite out of the question. I am Miss Carde's guardian, and as stipulated in the terms of her grandfather's will, she cannot actually marry until she comes of age, or I give my consent. And that consent I absolutely decline to give.
Upon what grounds, may I ask?
It pains me very much, my dear Lady Bracknell, to have to speak frankly to you about your nephew. But I have the gravest doubts about his moral character. I suspect this man, in fact, of being untruthful.
Untruthful? My nephew Algernon? Impossible. He is an Oxonian. And we studied here.
I fear there can be no possible doubt about the matter. When I was away this weekend on an important business of romance, he falsely gained entrance to my house under the false pretense of being my brother. He stayed to tea and has, I have just been informed by my staff, consumed an entire bottle of my finest Perrier Jouet 89 Blue.
I never said.
Yes, you did!
No, I didn't!
It was the finest wine. I was specially reserving it for
It
myself.
wasn't that nice.
It was very good. Continuing this man's disgraceful deception, he succeeded over the course of the afternoon in alienating the affections of Miss Cecily Cardew, my only ward, and what is worse, he consumed every single muffin in the house.
I never didn't. Promise.
And what is worst of all is that this man, right from the start, knew very, very well that I, in fact, have no brother, that I've never had a brother, and that I do not intend on ever having a brother in the future. I distinctly told him so myself yesterday afternoon.
Mr. Worthing, after a careful consideration, I have decided to entirely overlook my nephew's conduct towards you.
That is very, very generous of you, Lady Bracknell. My own opinion, however, is unalterable, and I decline to give my consent.
Come here, child. How old are you?
Well, I'm really only 18, but I always admit to 20 when I go to evening parties.
You are quite right in making some slight alteration. Women should never be precise about their age. It looks so calculating. 18, but admitting to 20 at evening parties? Well, it will not be very long before you are of age and free from the restraints of tutelage. So I don't think your guardian's concern is of any big importance at all.
Please excuse me if I interrupt you there. Again, Lady Bracknell. But again, as stipulated in the terms of her grandfather's will, Miss Cecily Cardew here does not actually legally come of age until she is 35.
That seems to me to be no grave objection. 35 is a very respectable age. I do not see why Miss Cecily Cardew will not be even more attractive at the age you mentioned than she is at present. There will be a large accumulation of property.
Algie,
Yes, Cecily.
could you wait for me until I was 35?
Of course I could, Cecily. You know I could.
Yes, I felt it instinctively. But I couldn't possibly wait all this time. I hate waiting even 5 minutes for anybody. It always makes me very cross. I'm not punctual myself, I know, but I do like punctuality in others, and waiting, even to get married, it's quite out of the question.
Then what is to be done, Cecily?
I don't know.
Mr. Worthing, as Miss Cardew positively states that she cannot wait until she is 35, a remark that seems to me to display a somewhat impatient nature. I would beg of you to reconsider your answer.
Oh, but my dear Lady Bracknell, the matter is of course entirely in your own hands. The moment you consent to my marriage with Gwendolen, I will most gladly allow your nephew to form an alliance with my ward.
That is totally out of the question.
Well, in that case, a passionate celibacy is all that any of us have got to look forward to.
Oh, sweet Lord.
That is not what I propose for Gwendolen. Gwendolen, we have already missed 5, if not 6 trains. To miss any more might expose us to comment on the platform.
Ha! Everything is going ready for the christening! Oh!
The christening, sir? Is that not somewhat premature?
Both these gentlemen have expressed desire for immediate baptism.
At their age, the idea is grotesque and irreligious. Algernon, I forbid you to be baptized.
Am I to understand that there are not going to be any christenings at all this afternoon?
I don't actually think that, as things are now, that would be of much practical value, Dr. Chesco.
I'm grieved to hear such sentiments from you, Mr. Worthing. However, I will return to the church at once. I've just been informed by the pew opener that for the last hour and a half, Miss Prism has been waiting for me in the vestry.
Did I dare you mention a Miss Prism?
Yes, I'm on my way to join her.
Pray allow me to detain you for a moment, Dr. Chasuble. Is this Miss Prism a lady of repellent aspect, remotely connected to education?
She's the most cultivated of bliss, the very picture of respectability.
Miss Prism has, for the past 5 years, been Miss Carduce's teacher and valued companion, Lady Bracknell.
It is obviously the same person. Despite what I hear of her, I must see her at once.
She approaches.
I was told you expected me in the vestry, dear Canon. I've been waiting for you there for 1 hour and 3/4.
Prism! Prism. Prism. There is that baby! 28 years ago, you left Lord Bracknell's house, Upper Grosvenor Street, 48, with a perambulator containing a baby of the male sex. You never returned. 2 weeks later, after extensive searches of the Metropolitan Police, the perambulator was found at midnight in a remote corner of Bayswater, containing a more than usually lengthy 3-volume novel of repellent sentimentality. But the baby was not there. Prism, there is that baby!
Lady Bracknell, I admit with shame that I do not know. I only wish I did. The plain facts of the case are these. On the morning of the day you mention, a day that is forever branded on my memory, I prepared as usual to take the baby out in its perambulator. I also had with me a somewhat old but capacious handbag in which I had intended to place the manuscript of a work of fiction on which I had written during my few unoccupied hours. In a moment of mental abstraction, for which I can never forgive myself, I deposited the manuscript in the bassinet and placed the baby in the handbag.
Handbag? But where did you deposit that handbag, Miss Prism?
You do not ask me, Mr. Worthing.
Please, Miss Prism, think carefully. The value of more than one life depends upon what you say right now. It's a matter of no small importance to me. I must insist that you tell me where you deposited the handbag that contained that infant.
I left it in the cloakroom of one of the latter railway stations in London.
Yes, but which railway station?
The Victoria Red Line!
I have to retire to my room for a moment. Wendling, will you wait for me?
If you're not too long, I will wait here for you all my life.
What do you think this means, Lady Beck?
Oh, I dare not even suspect, Dr. Chasuble. I need hardly tell you that in families of higher education, strange occurrences like this are not supposed to happen. They are hardly considered the same.
Uncle Jack seems strangely agitated.
Your garden is such an emotional nature. Oh, it has stopped now.
Oh, it sounds as if he was having an argument. I dislike arguments of any kind. They are often vulgar and mostly convincing.
The suspense is terrible. I hope it will last.
is the handbag you spoke of? Examine it carefully before you speak. More than one life depends upon your answer.
It seems to be mine. Oh yes. Here is the injury it received through the upsetting of a Gower Street omnibus in younger and happier days. And here is the stain on the lining, caused by the explosion of a temperance beverage, an incident that occurred at Leamington. And here on the lock are my initials. I had forgotten that, in an extravagant mood, I had them placed there. The bag is undoubtedly mine. I'm delighted to have it so unexpectedly restored to me. It has been a great inconvenience being without it all these years.
Oh, Miss Prism. More is restored to you than just a handbag. I was the baby that you placed in it.
No.
Yes!
You!
Me! Mother!
Mr. Worthing! I am unmarried.
And married? Oh, I do not deny that that is a serious blow. Still, who has the right to cast a stone against one who has suffered? Why should there be one law for men and another for women? Mother, I forgive you!
Mr. Worthing! There is some error. There is the lady who can tell you who you really are.
Forgive me if I seem a bit inquisitive, Lady Bracknell, but would you please be so kind as to tell me who I am?
The answer that I have to give you, Mr. Worthing, will probably not altogether please you. You are the eldest son of my poor sister, Mrs. Moncrief, and consequently, Algernon's elder brother.
What? Are you serious?
Yes. Yes.
Algy's elder brother!
Yes.
And I do have a brother after all. I always said so! I always said I had a brother, Cecily! Didn't I always tell you that I had a brother? Please, Dr. Jasmine, meet Algernon Moncrief, my unfortunate brother. Gwendolyn, darling. Algernon, my unfortunate brother. Miss Prism, Algernon Moncrief, my unfortunate brother. Algy, you young scoundrel! You'll have to treat me with a bit more respect in the future. You have never treated me like a brother at all.
Well, not till today, old boy, I admit. I did my best, however, though I was out of practice.
My own one. What own are you, now that you have a Christian name?
Oh, good heavens, I quite forgot about that point. Your decision on the subject of my name is irrevocable, I take it.
You never change, except in my affection.
What a noble nature you have, Gwendolyn.
In that case, the matter had better be cleared up at once. Aunt Augusta. By the time that Miss Prism left me in the handbag, had I been christened already?
All the luxuries that money could buy you were lavished upon you by your fond and doting parents.
So then I was christened. That's good. Now tell me, let me know the worst.
Being the eldest son, you were naturally christened after your father.
Yes, but what was my father's Christian name?
I cannot at the present moment recall the gentleman's Christian name, but I have no doubt he had one. He was an eccentric man, but only in later life, and that was only because of the Indian climate and marriage and indigestion.
Oh, you can't by any chance remember what our father's Christian name was, can you?
Oh, my dear boy, we were never even on speaking terms. He died before I was a year old.
But his name would appear in the military records of the period, wouldn't it, Aunt Augusta?
The general was a man of peace, generally, apart from in his domestic life. But I have no doubt that his name would appear in any military directory.
The military directory for the past 40 years! Somewhere... Yes, let's see. Here now! Yes! All right. This electoral record should be my constant study. Let's see. Generals, beginning with M. M.
There you go, old boy.
Thank you. Right. Generals M. There we go. Malcolm, Maxby, Monkey. Well, awful names they've got. Maxley, Marby. Let's see. The Moncrief. Corporal, 1860. Captain, Lieutenant Colonel, General, 1869. Christian name. Ernest John. You see, I always told you that my name was Ernest, didn't I? Well, I mean, it is. It naturally is Ernest.
Ah, yes. I recall now that the General's Christian name was Earnest. Anyone had a particular reason for disliking the name?
Ernest! My own one. I knew from the beginning that you could have no other name.
Gwendolen, it is a very difficult thing for a man to quite suddenly find out that he's been speaking the truth all his life. Do you think you can ever forgive me?
I can, for I am sure that you are willing to change.
My own one. Oh, Letitia!
Frederick, at last!
Cecily, at last!
Gwendolen, at last!
My nephew, you seem to me to be displaying signs of triviality.
On the contrary, Aunt Augusta, I have, for the first time in all my life, realized the vital importance of being earnest.
I did not expect to be called on in the box. It's like I've not prepared for this moment.
You look prepared.
Thank you very much for everyone who's come along tonight and supported this fantastic play. I hope you enjoyed it. And now I'd like to take the opportunity to thank some very important people. And I think they deserve an audience as appreciative as you, because they really have worked so hard. I'd first of all like to thank the USFA, a fantastic organisation that has supported us, given us money to do this play, given us a venue, given us a fantastic technician, a lighting designer. Thank you very much. Thank you very much indeed. I really do appreciate it so much. Thank you very much. And there's a group of people I'd like to thank who I think it's very unfair of them. They spend 4 months working on this production, giving up all their time, running around Groningen, doing all these wonderful tasks, and they never get to see the final show. And these people are the crew. Thank you very much. The crew have been phenomenal, and just as talented as what you saw here. We had costume who made Lady Bracknell's costume from hand. From hand. Set, who have accumulated all this wonderful pieces of furniture, who built this beautiful hedge. The real star of the show is the hedge. Thank you so much. Makeup. As you can see, everyone on stage is looking beautiful, especially Lady Bracknell.
Why me?
Also, thank you very much to PR. The moment I got very excited about this play was when PR first showed me the logo. They made it themselves. Here it is. You've got Johan and Samuel, and it got me very excited. So thank you very much, PR, for all your help.
You're welcome.
And also a very important role was props. We've got Peter here who was Lane and props. Also Espen is not here tonight. Thank you very much. The extreme detail is needed in doing props, and you've done this play justice. Thank you very much. And of course there was one person who I needed to head all of this. Someone who is a friend, a production leader, a physicist, a lawyer. I'm very beautiful as well. And this play could not have been done without Ailsa. Present for you. I asked Ailsa 6 months ago if she'd like to produce the play, and I met Ailsa through physics. She studied physics with me, and she would always tell me to come to the tutorials or come to the lectures if I was too hungover or whatever. Like, James, you need to come, you need to learn. She motivated me through physics, and she motivated me through this play. I couldn't have done it without you, Ailsa. And I have a photo which I think symbolises our relationship, and the photo to me is Ailsa putting up with silly James. I hope you don't mind me continuing.
He does this all the time. Rehearsals, during play.
It's normal. Indulge, man.
And there are also 9 other very important people that I need to thank you. And these people are very special. I remember 4 months ago that we had so many people come to the auditions, which was phenomenal, and looking back in it now, how it was such a stressful time to choose everyone, and it was meant to be that everyone in the cast was as phenomenal as they were. Not only are they talented as actors and actresses, but they are become fantastic friends. I've loved this so much, and the reason I've loved doing it so much is that I've got to meet some really amazing people. And you know, I was thinking, regardless if the play goes shit or if it goes great, I still have a fantastic memory of working so closely with these 9 talented actors and actresses. And I find it very difficult sometimes to say how I feel. So I've tried to write it down, and I want to give these to all you. Thank you so much.
Someone's crazy. Put away.
Sorry. I'm going to tell you, you haven't been going.
Eric, Samuel.
James, there is money inside here, right?
And was there anyone else I should thank? Thank you very much for coming. I hope you enjoyed the show.
Everybody here, but I think we still need to thank you
Which is
for putting this amazing play together, for finding great actors, for putting your vision on stage. And I think I can speak for all of us that we're blown away by it. And you are an amazing director.
Might I ask that?
Yes.
I think I speak on the whole behalf of all the cast.
We love you, James.
As well. So, yeah, okay. So, yeah, your guidance and your energy were such an inspiration to all of us, and we want to thank you very much for taking on this amazing project with us and trusting us so much and giving us an amazing time putting on an amazing play. So we gave you a little something to remember us by.
And the same goes for Ilse.
So there you go.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
If anyone's confused, those are the 2 other board members of Guts. They didn't say, but that's why they are on stage.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so alcohol now? Yeah? Alcohol!
We're having the after party in the Uspa in the bar there. Please go get a drink and enjoy the night and meet all the actors and tell them well done. You deserve it. See you in the bar.
I got to cry, man. I got to cry.